In this video, we will talk about casting and conversion. I will show to you how to convert a certain data type into another type with the help of toString method, convert class, and typecasting. So to start, let's create a new project. Select the console.NET framework, and let's give this a project name, casting and conversion. So in our main program, let's say we have an integer variable with the name serial number, and let's give it a value of 150. And then we have a string variable, and let's say we have this account number, and then we will set it into empty string. So meaning the string variable is empty. So whenever you see double quote with no values inside of it, meaning that is a string, empty string. Okay, so what we will do now is to assign the value of our serial number into our string variable. So let's see if it will work. So here, as you can see, there is a red line under your serial number, and it states that you cannot implicitly convert type int to string. Okay, there you go. So meaning we cannot assign our serial number with a type of integer to our account number with a type of string. So how can we assign that if the compiler or the Visual Studio will not allow us to assign integer to string? So in this case, we have to use the method of the serial number variable, which is called toString method. So with the help of our toString method, the value of our serial number will be converted into string before it will be assigned to our account number string variable. So as you can see, there's no error raising on this line, and there's no red line indicating errors. So let's display the value of account number using our console write line. And then let's add the read line here to interrupt our console app. Then hit the F5 key to run your application. So this is not the result of our conversion. We were able to convert our integer variable into string, okay, by using the toString method of our integer variable. So let's have another try. This time, let's take float, and then we'll assign the float to our account number. Okay, we will assign our float to our account number. Instead of displaying the float, let's see if our float can be assigned to our string account number. So let's try doing the assignment of float to string variable. So cannot implicitly convert float to string. Again, for us to convert our float into string, we have to use toString method so that we'll be able to convert our float into string. So let's give it a try by hitting F5 key. Okay, so there you go. So this is our float variable converted into string 5.3. Okay, so let's take this into a different situation. Let's say I want this to be assigned in our integer variable. Instead of assigning float to a string variable, let's assign the float to a integer variable. So let's do this. Serial no is equals to my float. So it says here cannot implicitly convert type float into integer. So what I will do is use the convert class. So this time I will use convert class. So convert, this is a class. It will help you in converting any data type into another data type. So you have sets of type conversion here. So just select your preferred type which you want to use for your case. But in our case, we want to convert our float into integer. So remember, int here is an integer 32. So you have there the int 32. As I hover my mouse to our int data type, it shows there struct system.int32. So we have to type here int 32. So there you go. We have now the two int 32 here. And then enclose this with parentheses. There you go. So let's see if we're able to convert float into integer. So let's run the application. So there you go, 5. But hey, where is the decimal point? We know that our float has a decimal point. We have the float here 5.3, and we assign that 5.3 to our serial no, which is an integer variable. Well, remember that integer variable only accepts whole number, does not accept fractional number. So the point in the float was truncated. It was removed. It only accepts the whole number. So that is why there's only the 5 number in our result. So the 0.3 is truncated. It was removed, because integer can only accept whole numbers. However, if you are going to put 3 and replace it with 5, it will not display 5.5. It will display 6, because what it did is it rounds off the 5.5 into its nearest number, which is 6. So let's try a different approach here. I'm going to comment this out to make the code inactive. So let's add here // And then we will write here serial no, but this time I'm going to use typecasting. I will use the int here followed by my float. So let's see what will be the result. Let's run the application, and then still we were able to run it without errors, but it did not display the fractional part because still it is an integer. And even it is 5.5, it did not round off the 5.5 into 6. Unlike before in our convert class, it rounded off our 5.5 into 6. But for our typecasting here, it only took the whole number 5. So that is the difference between typecasting and the convert class. Let's have another example here. So let's say we want to create another variable. So this time decimal money 1 was 2, and then another decimal here, money 2, and then let's put m here to state that these are all decimal. And then let's say we want to add these two, money 1 and money 2, but we have to put it into an integer. Let's say result equals to money 1 plus money 2, and then display the result into our, okay, so we cannot proceed to the next code that we want to write because we have an error here. So every time you see a red underline, it means that there is an error. So just hover your mouse on that error so that you'll be able to see what the error says. So in our case, the error says cannot implicitly convert type decimal to int. So we cannot cast the decimal into integer. So we need to do some conversion here. So maybe we want to use the convert class, convert to integer. Sorry, this should be capital letter C. And then let's replace this with result. So what we did here is we created two variables, decimal variables. First decimal variable is money 1 with 45.56, and then the second decimal variable is money 2 with 100.50. And then we have created an integer variable. The name is result. And then we added money 1 and money 2. Whatever the result of that, it was converted into integer, and the result was assigned to the integer variable. Then after that, we display the result using the console.write line. Okay, so let's see what will be the effect. Okay, so there you go. We have 146. Again, it rounded off the fractional part of our money 1 and money 2. Okay, so we're able to convert, but there are some missing information which are sometimes very important. So if you prefer to display the most accurate result from the computation that you want to do, make sure the result should be stayed in the same data type. So in our case, we use integer, so that is why the fractional part was truncated. So maybe we can convert this to decimal so that we can have the result, so we can have an accurate result. We can preserve the fractional part of the result. Okay, there you go. And then let's try running the application again. Okay, so we have now a fractional part in our result, 146.06. We were able to keep the fractional part because the variable that holds the results is the same, has the same data type that holds our money 1 and money 2. Let's have another example here. Let's say we want this to become 4,500, and then the other side would be $1,001.50. So let's run the application again. Okay, so there you go. We have now 5,502.11. Now, how do we add a separator for every thousand of our result? So we can do that by using the toString followed by a pound sign here, comma, pound sign, 0, and then 00. The pound sign here refers to the thousands. The second pound sign refers to the hundreds. The third pound sign refers to the tens, and then the ones, and then the fractional part. So let's give it a try. So there you go. We were able to group our thousands using comma with the help of the toString method. So using the convert class and the typecasting together with the toString method, we were able to convert the data type into another type. So that's the end of this video, and see you in the next lectures.